Hello, people. Morning, morning, morning. I didn't do too much work on this after I ended the video yesterday. I just was, I don't know, I had a headache and was miserable. Just didn't feel good. So I didn't do any more work on this guy. Have you been crying? Yes, tears are really good, and it's really natural, but it takes time. And I can say that because I've been through it, and then know that it's like postnatal. I have 2 sketchbook tours posted up if you guys are interested in looking and revisiting some of my artwork from past years. On those, I will have more sketchbook tours listed up. Just have to kind of be patient. I do have some really old sketchbooks that I do want to list up that I don't have listed, but I'm going to eventually. So I need to go get me some new gel pens and stuff. I use a number 10 Jelly Roll gel pen here to add some white into this picture. This video probably isn't going to be super long this morning. Be as that I have to get some stuff ready because I probably have to go into work tomorrow. So that being said, this probably isn't going to be a super long video. This is a stylized piece. This is not a realistic style, even though the face on this dude is kind of a semi thing, and this is what I was talking about in my sketchbook tours. She answers the questions that you need to know, or if she doesn't know the answer, she goes and finds out. So it's really good, just knowing someone's there. While Kelly is struggling with her feelings, for Ronnie, there's still one more physically painful procedure to go through. And I'm just adding a little bit of white highlight in certain places and stuff. Not everywhere. And gel pens are expensive. I'm not even going to shit you on that. But it is what it is. Ugh. Pardon me. I'm not 100% awake this morning. Yeah, you'll see me switch off and use different colors to build tones and stuff along with this black. Not being super lenient, just a little bit here and there. I'm still working with these brush pens. I haven't switched to the box of Prismas yet. I'll let you know when I do that, which is probably going to be soon. Since I have clutter everywhere in this house, you know, my end table here's cluttered with art stuff. So. Oh my gosh, I'm sleepy. I don't know why I slept like a dead person last night. I'll say a lot of it has to do with my depression. Only joy. There's no regrets in anything that I've done. There is no regrets in coming here. I don't see any of that little girl anymore. You know, I don't see any of that lady that went through all that pain. You know, I see a woman now, you know, and one who has got, you know, a lot to give. I don't see any of that other. Does that make sense? I may not be overly talkative on this video because in the tour and stuff I was loose. That and I have a splitting Singer Kelly Fraser has
I
had
had
surgery
headache.
that she hopes will restore her body to something approaching the young woman she once was, both outside
I finished the
and
crack
inside.
ship 2 pup, and I got a third one of those for Cure Emmy to do. I'll probably do it after I do this one, but it'll be digitally done.
But 4 days after her triple surgery, Kelly is still in considerable pain.
Sorry there if you guys was like seeing the freaking television, but I told you be prepared for a weird, funky setup. Because I by no means have anything proper as a setup, or what most people would consider a proper setup, should I say.
Doctor said the panel lasts for about 4 days. I will cope fine. It's no choice. A few hours later,
It won't do me to get all the stuff to have a proper setup until I actually have everything downsized in this house and everything. It'll just do no good to get any of that stuff, because I'll want to use it if I have it laying around here and just
given up smoking, but her doctors are still worried about her oxygen levels. So she
still haven't got all my animation courses downloaded because I've got to go get a memory stick to stick in the Chromebook.
I'm not doing all this to the outside of my body and then poisoning the inside. 2 weeks ago, 51-year-old Ronnie Harper traveled 2,000 miles to have cutting-edge plastic surgery she hoped would transform her life. I want to fit my skin, one of the main things I want to do. And I want to feel sexy. But Ronnie's recovery is slow, and she has not yet been able to join in the crowds of holidaymakers on Carter Beach. But there's one thing she can do: look in the mirror. You know, I look at myself now in the mirror, probably for the first time. It blows my mind. It's really, you know, it's something that I always hoped for, always prayed for. Never thought, you know, it would be here, and now it's here, and I stand looking at myself and just, for the first time in 50 years, really liking who I see.
So you can see how it has all these nice fun tones building up in here and stuff. Like I said, I'm not very talkative this morning. My throat's kind of like not feeling it. As you can tell, my voice is kind of raspy and monotone. That's just because my vocals is played out. That happens a lot. That's why I never made it as a telemarketer, or just because my voice would give out and they would get mad at me and stuff. At one time, I used to do telemarketing a long time. I don't do that crap no more, though. I haven't for many moons. I refuse. It's one of the worst jobs you can have, next to fast food.
I should have picked one of your sweetie t-shirts.
Oh, I'm stretching. Excuse me. Stretching and burping.
Days later, Kelly is managing to get out and about and even get some sand in her toes. Being on the beach did remind me of being at home in Queensland, but it also was so overwhelmingly beautiful. It's tiring.
And I'm just building up the layers and tones, pretty much like I did on the face. Like I said, you're getting a hint of the fur. But then I'll go in and actually make certain parts of that fur jump, because I'm going to use some of the color pencils. And this is where I could potentially F this up.
Alright, so if it looks very good like this, be taking off the stitches. Just a little bit here. Looking very good. You're doing well.
Excellent. Kelly has finally got what she wanted.
her prolapse symptoms relieved, her pregnant-looking stomach gone, and she's gained the breast of a woman who has not had 5 children.
You cannot strip right now, so you can see exactly what they are, but what they see they will some swelling. Yes. Right. When you can stretch, yes, you always find.
I tried.
You're very good.
Thank you.
Kelly now feels confident enough to walk upright and to treat herself to a non-surgical procedure.
I think that one might be the guy. So recovery has been difficult. I felt really isolated. But then within the experience that I've had, has also been awesome within its own right. I have met some amazing people that I'll be grateful for the rest of my life. So I'm not meaning to be negative or complain. It's been a roller coaster. That's what it's been.
It's been nearly 3 weeks since Ronnie and Kelly set out on their journey to transform their lives in a tropical paradise. Both women have been on a roller coaster ride, both physical and emotional. Kelly has had her new body unveiled, and now it's Ronnie's turn, still fearful that her breasts are not going to be what she wanted.
So today, my bandages are all coming off, so I'm going to get a view of what my actual...
I would have music playing, but YouTube would probably mute it because
This time, undressing felt so much more.
that's what they do now with copyrighted music, even though you paid for it.
And so
All
in
music
just
I
3
have, I
weeks, Ronnie's tummy
purchased,
has gone from
but I
this,
still can't play it in the background because they'll mute it.
her arms from this to this. And
I'm
as for
taking
her
a break
breasts,
here. Somebody has messaged me on
What
Facebook.
I thought were going to be tiny breasts, but looking down at them, they're perfect. They're absolutely perfect for me. You know, I could have wanted any bigger, or they're just right. And my boobs stay up. They're not pancakes anymore. So thank you.
You to wear the bra as much as
Mm.
possible,
Yeah.
especially during daytime.
Yeah.
For nighttime, let's see.
None of importance.
Plan
Like I said, I'm just live streaming this for a little
Oh, very happy.
bit. And
Absolutely brilliant job. You know, from where my body was, which wasn't very pleasant.
I don't even think I could stream like live radio or anything in the background without YouTube being weird about it. So you guys are just gonna have to deal with TV in the background and me being oddly silent sometimes. So, sorry about that. If my voice wasn't so played out, I would talk a lot more, but I really just don't know what to say about this piece other than I'm just kind of repeating a technique over and over again. So it's kind of a repeat process at the moment, which I told you it would be. So, but he's starting to take shape. Yes, yes, he is. I realize that this is way too early for a lot of my audiences to be on YouTube because some of you guys on weekends do not get up till late or in the day. I get up super early because it's what I'm used to. It's what I do when I'm at work. I'm up before daylight. And that's a schedule that's sometimes hard to turn off, even when you're not working that day. So I've been up for a long while this morning, which is why I went ahead and decided to do the sketchbook tour and stuff. If you're lucky, I might do another sketchbook tour today. I don't know. I kind of don't want to. I have a lot of sketchbooks to do, So I probably should get the newer ones out of the way before I go and hit on super old ones, I guess, right? Plus, it'll give you all something to look forward to. I'll have something on this channel that a lot of you guys can go and watch. So that it isn't just strictly artwork videos. And you guys kind of get to see some of my older stuff, especially some of you who don't know my galleries and are familiar with me as an artist because you're a newer generation or what have you. Where's that purple at? Here's go eat kitty food. She just looked over her shoulder at me like, yeah, I'm hungry.
Thailand has long been a hot destination for holidaymakers from around the globe. It's a potent blend of traditional Thai culture, sun, and fun-seeking.
Yeah, I like putting lots of colors and stuff in on this.
Tanned bodies.
Like I said, I'm putting a lot of effort in on something that's just a free art piece for a contest.
Thailand's internationally renowned cosmetic surgeons. And medical tourism.
And most people, if it's like a trade or a contest thing, if you're a contest artist, they usually just, a lot of people just do an okay job and stuff, but I try to do a good job and give somebody something really decently good as a prize. It's kind of weird. I don't even remember volunteering being an artist to draw the prize for this. It just goes to show you my wolfy potato brain like forgets things. I think when I volunteered to do it, I actually had a lot more time than I do now to do it. I think that's what it is. And I don't think that I was contacted by the one who was hosting the contest and told who the winner was either. So I think a lot of it was the contest holder to blame on that. Because they're supposed to contact the contest artists and let them know who their winner is so we can get in touch with them and get what they want so we can draw it. So I think it was a little bit of both there, but it's okay. We get it done now. It's no big deal. She'll have a good art piece. She has a lot of artwork that I've done for her. Nathaniel does a lot of artwork for Curami too. There's a lot of talent out there to check out. A lot of young talent to check out. Scythe is one. Dog Jaws is one. Nathaniel. Umbraside. I think that's how you pronounce their name. I'm not sure. Excalibur does good stuff. There's a bunch of young artists out there that do banging work. A lot of them do work digitally though. My tiny fox is talking to me. She's like, I'm sleepy, and I'm like, it lives.
Across the Tasman Sea in Adelaide, South Australia, 55-year-old Jude Allen is also about to pack her bags for a life-changing journey to Thailand.
She should have came over and alleviated my boredom, and we could have like downsized some stuff together. We're supposed to switch off and supposed to help her with her place, and in return she helps me with mine. I just need somebody to be here to be motivational for me, and I can get it done. If I'm here by myself, nothing happens.
Jude is about to travel to Phuket.
My anxiety and depression shuts me down pretty good on stuff.
Age, I think, has caught up on me quickly in the last year, and
Because I become overwhelmed and I just shut the hell down. This house is so overwhelming to me that when I think about even touching anything in here to downsize, rearrange, or anything, I mentally shut down. It's just so overwhelming to me, and I shut down and can't do it. Which is why I keep telling Mom and them I need to do this, because I don't really need somebody to come here and do it for me or help me to do it. I just need you to sit there and be company. Kind of like when I start losing motivation to like prod me along or something. It's
expecting a really good result and a very positive experience. There's something to be said for growing old gracefully, and I applaud those that can do that.
And anytime the black looks a little dicey here, it's fine. I'll take some color pencils and I'll take the black and I'll make things darker. And, we're going to play with it quite a bit. I'm probably will do the horns and finish this here. And I may do the tail. I'm going to save the wings for last because I hate them. I'm going to try to get at least that much of the flat done here. I said I would show you guys how I would do the detail with colored pencils. And then I'm being a terrible wolf by not doing that now. But I can do that now if you would like. I probably should do that because, hell, I said when I video it next, it would be that. So why not do that? I'll pull this color down, work with this a little more, start letting that dry, and I'll go up in here and start working in the face with color pencil. How about that? We'll do that because I've got to take a shower yet this morning. I can't stand myself. I can't say nasty because that's how I feel right now, and I don't like that feeling, and my dog's probably going to have to go out here too. So, like I said, there's things to be done. I'm hungry, but I'm not going to eat anything. I just want chocolate. If I want chocolate, well, hell, it's Sunday. The only place that would be open would be freaking Walmart or Dollar Store, and I'd have to drive all the way into town to that. Bull poopy. I don't even say just run up here to the country store. It's less than 5 minutes from my house, but I forget on Sundays they're not open because of church. I forget that they're closed on Sundays because of church. So I would probably have to go to Walmart and get chocolate. Actually, I can get it cheaper at the dollar store, but if I'm in Wayne, I might as well pick up the freaking memory stick for my crummy book. Okay, let's switch gears, people. People. Tiny peoples. Squee! Sorry, I was answering my friend. I gotta dig here for a minute. Rearrange everything here. Because I don't have everything where I need it to be. Damn, imagine that. I'm going to be using a 36 count Prisma. Yes, the tin is all dented to pieces, which is why I got this set. That has absolutely nothing wrong with them, mind you, for $15. Because if the tin's dented, the pencils can't color.
Jude, however, is dealing with a few last-minute butterflies as she's taken to her
I'm being
first
an ass
pre-surgical
wipe
consult.
saying that.
Jude knows
I
that
just felt like being sarcastic and
will be devastating, so she's hoping
evil on
the
that.
doctor will be up to the task.
That's not light enough. Probably have to go with this lighter purple. That's not light enough either. Holy crud.
But before meeting her surgeon, she will undergo a battery of tests.
This
to
pink will
ensure
work
she's
though.
physically fit enough for surgery.
Yeah, see, sometimes you just have to sit and play and see what colors are going to work and what ain't.
Finally, Jude gets to meet
You're just going to be insinuating fur in some places and highlight here and there in places. I have to kind of watch because this down in here is wet
is one of the most respected and experienced plastic
and
surgeons.
it's still drying.
At 80 years old, he has the sharp eyes and steady hand of a man half his age.
No hypertension, no.
And I'm just using short pull strokes to create the fur effect. And you don't have to do a whole lot for this effect to be effective. As you can see, it already is looking like something. I don't know if you can see because it's dark.
He's amazing for his age, and he's put all my fears at bay. I just feel completely at ease with him. He exudes confidence.
It's okay if it's not the same color, pink or purple, because you're going to have to work on lighter tones
Fears that I have been allayed completely.
that show up on this. And you want to be careful because
I just felt
brush pens, where they're water-based and like watercolor and like any kind of paint or pastel, you take color pencil over it, it's going to really stand out. Like, I mean stand out. So you want to be careful and you want to be able to know your pressures. If you do too hard of pressure on Prisma pencil on this, you're going to destroy your image. I'm not going to lie to you. Because it's going to be too dark. I'm barely pressing on this, just barely. But if I wanted it to be darker, all I have to do is just press harder. And you can see it gets lighter. So pencil pressure is important. You don't want to press too hard. I'm barely letting the pencil graze the Bristol paper. Because the pencil is so strong in pigment. You'll kill, I'm telling you, you will kill your image if you're not careful. Yes, Buzz. Adelaide. Well, I guess Adelaide wanted to say good morning. She's something else, man.
I'm going to be a good girl.
The next morning, as the tourists hit the beach, Mandy's heading off to her pre-surgery consult and is feeling a bit fragile.
And sometimes I will do the hard press like that. That way it really stands out. That way you can see the separation of the jaw. So it doesn't look like from there it's all ran into the neck. Because it's not. The neck actually stops about right in here too. So I'll do a very stark highlighting of fur through here to separate all that. So, and right through here from his... from the top line of his back, I had to find my words because right here's the back and right here's the shoulder. So you gotta take all this in consideration too when working with this medium.
Hello, Amanda.
And you're working with a character that's very dark. Like his whole being is dark, except for really his horns and his snoot, his nose, is the only thing that's like a different color. And I'm about ready to switch out color. I was using a pink on that. This color I'm switching to is going to be a light cerulean blue. Cerulean, yeah. However you want to pronounce it. I probably pronounced that wrong. Because I do have some blue tones going in through here, so I'm lightly pressing on this Prisma pencil. And these are the Premiers. These are not Scholars. For anybody wondering. Press very lightly on these. You don't want a real dark line like what I did right there. That's pressing very hard. It doesn't take a lot. Where the brush pens are your base. You're just adding a hint of fur here and there. You do not want fur to be everywhere because then it takes away that nice effect that you add in some of the areas of the drawing. It just helps accentuate some things that needs accentuating. That's still damp. I don't want to touch down in there much. Would I use white? Yes, I do. But very sparingly. Because it is when you use white, it is so bright on here. And I'm using a 12 set Prisma set that you can pick these up at Walmart. I think they're $14 for the set of 12 primary colors of Prismacolor pencils. You can do a lot with a primary set. If you're new to Prisma pencils, I would recommend getting the 12 set to try them out. That way you're not going to be out a lot of money. I've also got a 25 pencil, 24, 25 pencil set that my bestie got me for Christmas. And she paid $7 for them, and they are Prisma brand. They're awesome. I'll show you guys those. She actually got these on sale with a coupon, I believe. That's why she only paid what she paid for them. I forget what they retail for on the 24 set. But this is the set that she got me for Christmas. And she paid $7 for the set using a coupon. So, not a bad deal. So sometimes you can get really good stuff, like the name brand stuff, and get it for a steal. So, not always do you have to pay a lot of money for something. Sometimes you can get the good stuff for cheap sometimes. Sometimes, not always. I'm taking a black Prisma and I'm going in and adding some shadows. I'm going to add shadows. I can't talk this morning. And I'm going to pull black lines into the color lines that I did for the furring to make it cohesive with the rest of the drawing so that it blends and it doesn't stand out like a sore thumb like here I am. So that way it just looks like it's a tint in the fur and not like it's just a bunch of bright shit on top of black like it currently looks. The Prisma brand of pencils do very well with the brush pens. Where I'm having some rippling effect here from the Bristol not really enjoying being wet. And that's just Bristol paper for you. I would probably recommend hot or cold press watercolor paper for this. were straight up watercolor paper because it's a water based medium. So as you can see, it tones down the light colored pencils that I use for the hairs, and it blends it in and makes it look more cohesive with the rest of the image, so that it just looks like the black and that color is blended, so it just looks like certain hairs are standing out. And that's the goal when you're doing your furring, and you're only doing certain places that you want the fur to be accentuated at.
There's a lot of things going on in my mind at the moment. I'm sort of trying to forward at the moment. There's a lot going on.
Like I said, I am in no way an art teacher. My art teacher I had in high school was probably the toughest human being I have ever seen. But I had that artist's ego. It was like, I do what I want. And he tried to get me to do all kinds of things and step out of my box. And, eventually I did. But I gave that poor man hell before I finally seen his side of it as well. I was one of his favorite students. He never would admit it. He never would admit this. And near the senior year of my high school, some pieces of my portfolio that I did in his class went missing out of my portfolio. So I think the old man took some of my artwork to remember me by. Because, he probably guessed that he would never see me again, which he was right on that. He never did cross paths with me again. Our paths have never crossed to this day again, but and he was a tough art teacher. His name was Mr. Osborne, I'll say it. He was a really good artist himself. Like, he loved doing landscapes and Bob Ross type imagery, and he was really good at it. But he could do just about anything that he sat down to draw, he could draw. He was an amazing artist. And when I was in school and I took his classes, even if I wasn't one of his students, I took art 1, 2, and 3 in high school, plus graphic design and illustration. He would give me art supplies and stuff to use from the art room and stuff, because he knew my family didn't have the money for such things. So it was pretty cool. He was really nice to me. On the sidelines, in front of everybody, he had to give me hell and be who he was. But he really wasn't that big, mean, a hardcore art teacher that he wanted everybody to think he was. But I learned a lot off of him. He was an interesting one. He was so outspoken about stuff too, and I think that's what I liked about him, because he didn't beat around the bush. He just straight up told you, this sucks and you need to redo it. Like, there was no beating around the bush with him. And I think that's one of the things I liked the most about him. My middle school art teachers I had they were really awesome too. They were good artists as well. I got to know a lot of really talented people in my life, and fortunate. I'm using white now, which is, a really bright color, which is why I'm going to be very sparing with it. My style always drove my art teacher up the literal wall. He couldn't understand why I liked drawing creepy stuff and my fascination with wolves. He never got that. Because I think back in that time era, I was heavily influenced by furry art. Yes, I know, grown inwardly, right? So I like to draw on these big, busty, big tittied wolf girls. I went through that phase in high school, and it drove him up the wall. I think the old comic was Midnight Dream. It was a gray she wolf. She's real busty chick, like huge boobs. It was crazy. But, you know, I was also a wear artist on top of that, but I was exploring furry based artwork. And with that and the anthropomorphic artwork. So that's where I was exploring everything, I guess. And it drove my poor art teacher up the wall. Because I would explore these ideas in his art class, and he was not very appreciative of that. As you can see, you can really screw up with white if you don't watch it. You want to be very sparing. I need to sharpen my white pencil because its lead is very tiny. I cares not. It makes me keep the pressure light with it being this way right now, so we're good. As I say here, I just think about how I really want to go and get chocolate. And since I'm craving chocolate so bad, and the only way I'm going to have it is if I go into Wayne. Addie, that is my leg you're chewing on, you little demon. So I may run into town unnecessarily, even though I'm probably going to be out into town tomorrow. Doesn't help. Because I want chocolate now. I mean, I want chocolate tomorrow, but I want chocolate now. Probably shouldn't go spend the money on it, but whatever. Spent too much money already. That's basically how you would work with the color pencil over top the brush pens. And I just did the face right here. I didn't work down here with the color pencil. I have to let this dry really well because there's pieces of the freaking Bristol paper that's falling off because it's so saturated with water and it needs to dry really well. But I can jump up here and work on the horns and stuff like that. And by the time I do all that and everything, this will be dry. And I have to work on this one in sections because of the medium I'm working with. But I just wanted to do a little bit of the color pencil to show you guys how it's done on top of the watercolor brush pens. I'm going to end this video here for now, and probably the next time you see this piece, it'll be finished, because I'm probably not going to make another video on it. Since you see half of the image already is almost where I want it to be at, which is finished, because by the time I get him done, which is the main focal point, I'm just going to have a little bit here of the background to do, and it's going to be done. So this is all I'm going to be showing on this video of this. Next time you see this dude, it will be posted up on my galleries online, and it will be completed and finished. I do thank you guys for joining me this morning. Those of you who did, if nobody has joined me while I was live, then when you go back to view this video after it's been posted up, I want to thank you guys for supporting me by coming and watching me create on a crappy setup. And bearing with me until I can do something better, have a better setup and do things properly. So I really do appreciate it. And I want to thank you guys for joining me this morning. And you guys have a good day.